the path for rupee to replace the dollar, the global play of the rupee. Now, the thought here is that how does one make the rupee more acceptable in markets and in trade across the world? And there are many initiatives that are being taken, many initiatives that are being planned to do that, the globalization of the rupee. And how will that pan out? To help us understand that, we have Mr. Anil Kumar Bhansali, Head Treasury and ED, Finrex Treasury, joining us live on the broadcast. Anil Kumar Bhansali, talk to us. What do you make of the recent measures, and what do you think is needed to make sure the rupee becomes a globally accepted currency, just like the dollar?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for inviting me here to this broadcast. Recently, RBI has also given certain things which are required for internationalization of rupee. Important points are that the foreigners who can hold a rupee account in overseas branches. Then the round the clock currency trading market for India. Then increased use of UPI for cross border payments, like we saw something in happening with Singapore and Dubai. And if you remember, someone had also quoted that he was very happy giving rupees in Dubai. Then there are other measures like standardized rupee trading templates with countries. So these are some short-term steps which RBI proposes to take to do the internationalization of rupees.
Right.
On the longer term, rupee could be a part of the IMF SDR and an alternative to dollar and euro, like something like yuan has been trying to do. So these are the steps which RBI proposes to take, I think, to internationalize.
Right. That's because the Reserve Bank of India appointed committee has recommended a roadmap to achieve the internationalization of the rupee, and the rupee being included, as Mr. Bhansali was talking about, the IMF's special drawing rights basket, or the SDR basket. Mr. Bhansali, they say in the medium term, what they're looking to do is that make sure that the RTGS it can be done cross-border. That's a very important way in which RTGS transactions for now, which are done only domestically for transfer of money, if that is going to be available cross-border, then that will encourage the usage of rupee in international trade.
Yes. So making UPI a part of that is the first step, probably, which RBI has taken. Many other countries will be the second step. And possibly then they would take the step of getting these RTGS transactions done to many countries, which will make life easier for most of us. If you want to transfer money to any other country, or you want to receive remittance from any other country.
Right. The other measures, let's go one by one in the measures that can be taken in the medium term to internationalize the rupee, is that remove the taxation on masala bonds. Bonds that are issued outside India but in Indian currency. Those masala bonds, the taxation on masala bonds also kills the demand for them.
So we have been listening to this for the last 3 years, that the taxation amount to be reduced so that the Indian bonds can be traded internationally also. But the government of India has to take a decision on this, which is still pending from the government side. So possibly they may be they may not be able to. They're not. They think of losing of revenue, but possibly if you look at the volume of this bonds business.
Right, Mr. Bhansali, stay with us. We have Mr. Ajay Sahai, DG of the Federation of Indian Export Organizations, now joining us. Mr. Sahai, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on Business Plus on News9 Live. to begin with, when it comes to internationalization of the rupee, we're just discussing some of the things that is being considered in the medium term. Albeit the overall objective is to be part of the International Monetary Fund's SDR basket, or the special drawing rights basket of currencies, of the chosen currencies. But for now, things like reviewing the taxation on masala bonds, making sure the RTG, as the real-time gross settlement bank transfer system, is available for international currency, for international transactions, and of course, INR being part of the CLS, or the continuous linkage system, for as an accepted currency in the continuous linkage system. These are some of the measures that are being discussed. What are your thoughts on them?
In fact, these measures are important, and number of initiatives have already been taken by the RBI, which are steps toward internationalization of currency. But I think let us also look into the other facts, which will be very important. We have to look into how our imports and exports grow, how the economy grows, and what is the situation of our trade deficit, because these will be important when we are looking into nationalization of currencies. And more importantly, government has already provided a kind of ecosystem by signing these kinds of arrangement with around 18 plus countries, and over 60 banks are there. But actual business on a sizable basis has yet to start. So we feel that enough ecosystem has been provided, and trade and industry has to lead to exploit whatever has been provided. Please bear in mind that whatever has been done is an additional window which has been provided. So it will take little time, but we are pretty sure that the kind of interest which has been shown by the countries, both the countries who are having trade surplus with us, and also the countries which are having some kind of restriction or shortage of foreign exchange, and the kind of scenario which we are witnessing in the global trade at this point of time, I'm sure more countries will join. But the short point which I am making is that there is a framework which has been provided, and for trade and industry, we have to utilize the framework which has been given.
Right, but what are your thoughts on the fact that this is a new RBI appointed committee, the interdepartmental group, which has been headed by RBI Executive Director R.S. Ratho, in that, and that this is, all of these findings are part of their report as to what are their plans. They're talking about India, for rupee to become global. The signs are already there. There's progress in terms of capital account convertibility, and also there's also mention of the setting up of the gift city as well. So I want to understand how these things are helping the Indian rupee go global.
So I think the report which has come is very important, because that has clearly made it a point that for internationalization of currency, we should not look for the full convertibility. Full convertibility will be a gradual process. And even without having full convertibility, we can look for the internationalization of currency by increasing our import export transactions, some of the current account, and maybe even the capital account transactions. The gift city definitely is a wonderful idea. This will not only help in the international currency, but it will also help in making India this particular city a financial center. We are seeing that Hong Kong is little down, and probably there's much scope for a center to come into India, the kind of transactions which are happened there. But from the trade perspective, I think we have to look into how we are utilizing the current framework. We have some challenges, but to a large extent, those challenges have been overcome. And the kind of recommendation which has been given by the committee, I think they are for the short term, medium term, and some for the long term. So let us take one step at a time. Whatever has been recommended in the short term, maybe including the opening of NRI account abroad also in Indian rupees, these kinds of steps will definitely help us. But from the trade perspective, I think we have also to look into how we provide a kind of satisfaction to the countries who will have the excess rupee lying here, to what extent that can be channelized through investment, and the kind of interest which has been shown by the global companies in India. I think that will help us, and that will also encourage the countries who will have surpluses here to invest in the economy, and that will be a great step forward for the internationalization of the currency also.
Right. I want to understand only one thing. What does being part of the special drawing rights of the IMF's SDR basket mean for India, and how soon do you see it happening?
No, I think even if you look into Chinese currency, it's a part of SDR. But if you look into China's share in the total foreign exchange market is relatively small. So I will not like to draw much conclusion from that. still we are seeing that the dominant forces so far as the currencies are concerned is the dollar, which still account for close to 60%, followed by euro, which is 20, and rest of the currencies are still minuscule. So while it is very important that the currency becomes part of the SDR, but even when the currency becomes part of the SDR, it will take a lot of time before the currency is adopted by the countries for keeping the foreign exchange reserve and using it for the foreign exchange transactions.
Right, Mr. Ajay Sahai, DG of Federation of Indian Export Organization. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. And of course, Mr. Anil Kumar Bansali, Head Treasury and ED, Finrex Treasury. Thank you so much for joining us as well. And with that, we've completely run out of time here on this edition of Business Plus. That is a wrap here from my side. Thank you, Sayash, for being with us this evening. That's a wrap here from my side. This is Krishna Kumar signing off. Keep it with News 9.